Hey fam, got a special episode today about navigating overwhelming emotions in the aftermath. So what that means is you just had a big experience, you do not feel okay. How do you know that you will be okay? What are signs you need help and support? A little bit of love, a little bit of next steps packed in today's episode. And as always, it's brought to you by Ka Empathogenics, helping you to get more clarity, more comfort, more confidence in your day-to-day. It's an incredible legal psychoactive master teacher. If you haven't checked it out, you get 10% off in the show notes. With no further ado, let's get into today's episode on navigating overwhelming emotions in the aftermath of your journey.
Whether you're a life coach, therapist, biohacker, invested in wellness, or in the healthcare profession, if you have an intention to work in psychedelic spaces, you're in the right place then. If you're called, get involved. But first, get informed. Let's talk the 4 N's: intake, intention, in-space integration, leading to deeper transformations. Psychedelic Coach Podcast, Todd Cole. Walk you through the process, it's all possible. Leave space for the follow through. Most importantly, integration is not optional.
Hey y'all, Cole Whitty here. Today we're going to talk about something really interesting and something that isn't talked about enough. Ta talks about it a lot in Emotional, but we're going to dive into the language of emotions, sensations, how they relate to psychedelic experiences, and what you can do about it. Ultimately, emotions are like signals that send our body sometimes some pretty intense and overwhelming truths and some things that have been a long time repressed. So emotions are not just random feelings that pop out of nowhere. They serve a purpose, just like signals do. So signals help to indicate or warn us about something. And so they tell us something is happening, or it's going to happen, or they guide us towards or away from something. So emotions in our context work in a similar way. They are signals from our internal guidance system. So we've talked about it before. We talk about it a lot in our trainings, the 3 points of ease. They are safety, connection, and fulfillment. I really believe they're the markers of stability and happiness or fulfillment, right? So all emotions work to guide us back to these 3 points of ease, safety, connection, and fulfillment. They're like the guardians of our well-being, always trying to bring us back to flow and ease. So we talk about health being on a continuum from ease to dis-ease. So if we were on that continuum, are you feeling more easy or more dis-easy? To understand emotions, Ta has something he calls the 6 key emotional inspirations, which is pain, people, places, ideas, situations, and things. These inspirations affect our emotions and signal different things. So, for example, pain might inspire sadness, while a person or a place can inspire happiness or connection. So by understanding these inspirations, we can gain insights into what our emotions are trying to tell us. So if we go a little bit closer into, let's start with the 4 basic human emotions: happiness, sadness, anger, and fear. Happiness signals that we found something authentic, right? Like an authentic connection. There's a fulfillment. We feel safe. We are at ease. Sadness is telling us that there's something we need or we desire, or something's missing and needs to be fulfilled. Anger is a protective signal. That tells us to defend ourselves from actual, potential, or imagined threats, where fear signals the potential for a dramatic change, which could be an actual potential threat, or it is merely the unknown potential for a dramatic change. So each of these emotions are inspired by those 6 key emotional aspects. So they can work together in complex ways, but they can also be more solitary. So understanding what drives our emotions can help you navigate consciously and make choices that align with your well-being. So it's really about self-awareness, radical self-honesty with ourselves. So part of what I want to dive into here is it's really common to experience overwhelming feelings and sensations in a psychedelic experience. It is also possible to have overwhelming feelings and sensations after a psychedelic experience. So some of the main reasons that I like to dive in a little bit is the intensity of the experience, the vulnerability that you're in, and then how your integration practices are. So starting with the intensity of the experiences, psychedelics can be really profound and beautiful and visual. They also, on a somatic level, on a body level, can bring up deep emotions, memories, insights, because the body stores information, receives information, gives information. And so the intensity of the experience can drum up some things and sensations and thoughts and feelings that are all muddled together. And I've used this example before. Ta uses it all the time. You had a sandcastle. You go into a psychedelic experience and it's like someone just kicked over your sandcastle. It has been disintegrated. All those little grains and particles and thoughts and ideas and actions and memories and emotions are in this puddle, which can feel overwhelming, all happening at one time. And so now it's a period of time to let the body recalibrate. You aren't always experiencing a present experience. Like, you're not reliving something that happened when you were 8 in your body. Your body could be processing a traumatic experience, or I would say an experience that had traumatizing results in what you thought about it. So your ideas around shame or worthiness or those kinds of things could have become coupled up in that experience. But you may have gone to therapy and processed the experience. The body did not process the experience. It's still storing that information. And so when we go in with a psychedelic experience and we put fresh snow over the ski slopes, as Michael Pollan talks about, we have the opportunity to make new pathways. But a lot of what people don't really talk about is that in doing that, we are opening a dam for the first time in, 30, 40 years. And so when you first open that dam, the emotions come flooding in, emotions, sensations, memories, all sorts of things, which can cause restlessness, anxiety, sleeplessness, all sorts of things. And if someone has had those conditions in the past, and even if they haven't, it can feel like a very confronting, scary experience. And often, unless there is a specific memory that comes to the surface, I really invite someone not to do any digging. When you try to make sense of these emotions and sensations, you're doing it based off of what you know and believe right now in this moment. All of these thoughts, ideas, and sensations, if you try to create a story, then you may create a new construct or identity or idea that you're just going to have to deconstruct later. So imagine just letting those floodgates open until the waters are still. It is absolutely okay to distract yourself, to watch a movie, to sleep with the lights on, until your body has a little bit of space to recalibrate itself. We talk about expansion, we talk about contraction. Something that people don't talk as often about is this kind of opened cycle. As binary creatures, as binary trained beings, we like to have it on or off, in or out, here or through, and not this kind of middle toggle of having those floodgates open. It's like, no, I just want to close them off, or I just want to swim to the other side. We don't get that luxury. The body is process oriented and the body takes some time. And as much as you want to move through it faster, holding space for yourself, for the sensations, for the emotions, finding comfort in the discomfort, because if it doesn't make sense, it's not time. If you try to make sense of it, it can make you feel more lost, more afraid, because your old rational ideas cannot apply to this new neuroplastic state. And you are in, even if you just went through the experience, you are still in a heightened neuroplastic state for quite a period of time after an experience. And so each person's response to psychedelics can vary depending on their individual characteristics, their past experiences, their emotional state, their constructs of identity, of religion, of family, of business, of gender, of ethnicity, of culture. I mean, it goes on and on. And so now they're feeling vulnerable and open, and that can feel very scary and can be scary, because in that very sensitive place, you are open to getting hurt from a somatic level, that's how your body perceives it, is this is unsafe. I can't pull it together or I can't fight my way through. And so if someone's already feeling vulnerable and then has unresolved challenges in a psychedelic experience, that can bring more of those feelings to the surface in an intense way, which is overwhelming. And my heart to anyone going through it, it is not fun. That's why we say psychedelics are not a magic pill. It's not only having visuals, it's not only seeing God or past loved ones or whatever. It is not for the faint of heart, y'all. This is why you may have had beautiful experiences. That does not mean that everyone will or that your whole journey will be that way. The more you really get into this work, you start to actually experience what it really is. And you start working with these master teachers like ayahuasca, psilocybin in higher doses, of 5-MeO, all of that. It can be really challenging to go open up your mind in ways that you can't put into words and then come back to a third dimensional construct and try to participate in it, or constructs, because there's so many, and come back to the 3D and try to operate in a altered space. The body must recalibrate to the new ideas, the new identities, the new beliefs that are they're forming. So you're coming out as wet cement with ideas that you haven't even had the time to understand, let alone actualize. And so when we can't immediately understand, why do I feel this way? We start to feel scared because we also know the potential of psychedelics. What if I really went too far this time? Oh man, I'm going to be one of those people. How could I do this to myself? I have a job, I have kids, I have responsibilities. And it is our idea of security that can make us feel unsafe, that I shouldn't feel this way if I don't understand why. Now, security in our context is a future-based thing. Safety is momentary. But if my ideas of future security, crap, I need to work tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, I can't pull it together. What am I going to do? How am I going to tell people? I need to take care of the kids. I'm supposed to do this thing. All of those ideas and thoughts, when we have those thoughts, that drives that experience in the body as well. So there's the momentary safety, but it's being mindful of the future security that we're pulling into the now. The body's already processing a lot of information. If you start to try to solve the whole world and your whole future for the rest of your life from the state that you're in right now, of course, it's going to feel even more overwhelming. So just like we know that the set and setting is super, super important, you also want to remember that there is mindset and body set. And so you might be doing the mindset work. You might not have the same awareness of the body set work. That the body in itself has a way of bringing unconscious material to the surface of your awareness, like, as I kind of talked about with constructs, everything from deeply held beliefs to repressed emotions to unresolved traumas to I wish I wouldas and couldas. And when these unconscious aspects of ourselves become conscious, it can be overwhelming to process, let alone integrate them. So the sudden influx of new insights and the need to comfort unresolved issues is leading to more intense feelings and sensations. So it's kind of this vicious cycle when the best thing you can do, my love, is the 3 Ps. Pause and pull back. Just pause. Go back to the breath. Breathe. After you pull back, take a physical scan. What are you experiencing in your body and where? What are your earliest memories of those thoughts, of those sensations, of those feelings? And without needing to create meaning, just creating space. The practice is to create space to slow things down, to really slow down the spiraling thoughts and feelings so that you can allow it to integrate. There's integration of inaction, but intentional space creation. It's not doing nothing. It's protecting space for yourself. Now, for me, there's been times that meant putting on RuPaul's Drag Race, something that has humanity and humor and really reminds me that I'm in a process, versus total stillness, because at times, because I didn't quite feel that I was back in the reality that I felt safe in, Because remember, when you go through these changes, you're not returning to the same state. Even if you go back as some of similar versions of yourself, you're not going back the same. And that can be very unsettling feeling. And so it's important to approach these experiences with compassion for yourself, to get support. That's why having integration coaches is such a crucial part of the psychedelic experience. It involves making sense of or incorporating the insights or the reminder to be, that it's okay to distract yourself while you let your body do what it needs to do to get into alignment. And my heart goes out to you because it's not easy. And I understand that, especially with how many people I've sat with all the years myself, that I've been in my own overwhelming emotions and my own healing and the integration of my different insights and experiences. And so the key thing here is the 3 Ps. There's lots of other ways to do it. Give yourself permission to watch movies and chill. Give yourself permission to go for walks and not get right back to your computer. And this is always the risk when we don't actually have enough space to open ourselves to the experience and have the space for integration. And then we need to get back to work. We don't always have weeks to integrate, but this is always a potential as well that you will require more space. And I can tell you, as someone that's witnessing it in more ways and more fields than I could possibly articulate, and in my own life as well, the changing tide. Some say that it's the Aquarian age. Some say that it's recession and the patterns of humanity. Whatever you call it, things are changing. Ancient technology and modern technology with AI and even future technology that we're not even aware of is here because we can't see it, understand it, track it, quantify it. It's going to require a different type of human to uphold energetically a container of ancestral wisdom, of ancient wisdom, and these new technologies. And it's not a coincidence we're seeing in the coaching field so many coaches that are being forced to innovate, not just because they want to. When a field, or really when any business owner is innovating, is because what they're doing isn't working. If what they were doing was working, there would be no need to innovate, because there's too many there's too many moving parts that if you have to turn the Titanic, you wouldn't do it unless it was destined for an iceberg or already about to hit it. So whatever you're going through right now, when we had our coaching call today with the Condor coaches, many were experiencing this in their life. Not all, but many were. If you're on that boat, I'm on you with that boat, baby. The Condor approach is with you on that boat. We've been innovating to serve our coaches, not because the business, quote unquote, doesn't work, but because the products and the offers require something different in order for coaches to get more boots on the ground and be of support in their communities, because we need more people right now. Integration is not optional. When we say it's not optional, it's because it's always happening, no matter what. The key question to ask yourself is, how are you integrating? How optimal is it? How supported is it? Are you tracking? Do you have a plan? Is there a strategy in place? Is there a structure so that you can see what's working and what's not working? What are your intentions? Is this actually supporting your intentions without expectation? But as someone who has done a lot of work, I do now understand how much I influence my experiences without driving the bus. I am still an active participant of the navigation because of how well I know myself, how many experiences I've had with these master teachers, and how much I deeply trust them to do the work that I've witnessed them do over my last 15 years, and how they've uplifted and supported my life. And that also included some pretty intense, challenging experiences. So, whew. The 3 Ps, y'all. The 3 Ps, the 3 Ps. Integration is not optional, but how you integrate is. Just like a broken bone, sometimes it needs a cast, sometimes it needs to be reset, but it is not required for healing. A broken bone will heal no matter what. A hard or challenging psychedelic experience will heal no matter what, but when you don't seek out or allow integration support, the bone cannot heal optimally because it may need to be reset. It may need a support system, but it cannot live forever with a support system, or else the emotional muscles will degrade. They will actually start to break down if you leave that cast support on too long. In order for the bone to get, it has to get strong enough, but not too long with that support, or else the muscles atrophy. The emotional muscles will atrophy also. So there's nothing wrong with medications. There's nothing wrong with getting support. But if you lean on them forever, it can actually atrophy the muscle instead of build strength in the bone. I love you. Until next time, be easy, be free. Check out all of the episodes. Thank you so much to Pathogenics for supporting the show, for supporting me personally, y'all. Like, for reals. I've been taking it every day for like 2.5 months or whatever it is now. It's been an incredible ally, incredible teacher. You can get the discount code down in the show notes. And that's it for today. Peace. All right, so check it. You already know about the Condor approach, but did you know we have a one-day event coming up in Spanish Fork, Utah, August 1st? We're going to chat about uncovering the secrets of psychedelic integration to stay safe, connected, and fulfilled. If you want to discover how to navigate your psychedelic experiences with precision so that every step you take is aligned with your intentions and desired outcomes, this event is for you. It's just one day. Lunch is included. If you want to learn about the first thing you could do when you return home after a big experience, or why so many people slide backwards after a few weeks or months, how to find the right facilitator for you, the process that you're in, what questions to ask, how to share your wisdom and insights with those around you in your community, how to bridge the gap from the Western medicalized models and these ancient practices, your own unique framework that goes beyond just traditional methods or medicalized methods, and how to take your integration skills to the next level so that you can be a catalyst for change in the lives of others around you and really help to destigmatize and educate your community, then this is for you. So again, August 1st, admission is $297. We go from 9:30 a.m. until 7 p.m. in Spanish Fork, Utah. It's going to be an amazing event. If you want more information, I want to send it to you. So head on over to Instagram, The Condor Approach. Shoot me a message whether you want to come to The Condor Approach, a one-day event, or you're not sure. You're like, Cole, I don't know. You do all of the things. I get it. So book a call with me. Yes? Or you can go to learnmore.coach. Book a call with me. We can go over all the things and find the right fit for you. Let's get back to the episode.
Integration is not optional.